Kourtney Kardashian just declared she's anticipating her most memorable youngster with Travis Barker anyway. Her mother, Kris Jenner's tepid response got fans contemplating whether Kris is disregarding her own girl music. Applause. Music. Applause. After Kourtney uncovered her pregnancy at Flickr 182 show in LA, fans went into implosion and overflowed Kourtney's socials with messages of congrats. Kourtney and Travis have been attempting to consider for just about 2 years. So the reality they're currently expecting a child is no joking matter. My PCP brought us down this street of doing IVF. And like it hasn't been the most astonishing experience anyway, the responses of Kourtney's family to the pregnancy news has been well unusual. No doubt just two of Kourtney's sisters have freely complimented Kourt, while her mother Kris remained quiet for right around 2 days, until fans at last constrained her to share something. So what's Kris' concern with Kourtney? For what reason is she declining to recognize her own girl's pregnancy? We should separate it. Despite the fact that Kourtney has 3 delightful kids, it doesn't make it hurt any less. On Friday, June 16th, Kourtney Kardashian uncovered some significant news during her significant other Travis Barker's presentation with his band Squint 182 in Los Angeles. Close to the furthest limit of the show, Kourtney held up a sign that read, "Travis, I'm pregnant," making Travis stop the exhibition and leap off the stage to kiss her. Music. Applause. Music. Applause. They will make out now, I simply know it. __. Off this is quiet down. And however, a few news sources at first detailed that Kourtney shocked Travis with the pregnancy declaration, we're currently hearing that Travis had some awareness of the pregnancy for a couple of months. And the show staggered was something Kourt needed to do to pay tribute to Flickr needed his get-together. Visit the sign Kourt held up was a reference to Flickr 182's 1999 music video. For every one of the little things, which shows a fan holding up a comparable sign, Kourtney likewise later took to IG to share a progression of sweet photographs of her and Travis behind the stage, and wrote in the subtitle, "Overpowered with appreciation and bliss for God's favoring and plan." Kourtney's fans are past excited by the pregnancy news, since Kourt has been exceptionally open about her battle to consider with Travis. Not long after they got taken part in October 2021, Gordon Travis began the IVF cycle, yet the system was fruitless. The couple then, at that point, attempted different elective medicines in the expectations they'd consider normally, and back in May, one source said the entire excursion has been extremely hard on Kourtney, and she didn't expect it would have been this hard. Kourtney and Travis have needed to have a child since the very beginning, and she got pregnant with such ease with the other 3. The source let us know week by week. I figure she didn't consider it this time anyway. The insider additionally said Kourt and Travis never lost trust, adding, since they had it to them that the most heartfelt thing they could do is have a child together in any event. When it got extreme, they never faltered, and afterward, only weeks prior, Kourtney uncovered during an episode of The Kardashians on Hulu that she and Travis chose to stop IVF and allow nature to do its thing. "We are authoritatively finished with IVF. We would cherish a child more than everything, except I super put stock in what God has coming up for us in the event that that is a child. I accept that it will happen." Well, the arrangement obviously worked, and Kourtney's fans couldn't be more joyful for her. One fan tweeted, "So glad for Kourtney, like she tracked down her first love and is having a kid at 44. I love that for herself." And another fan added, "She's enough just Kardashian who appears to know how to seek after certifiable bliss." This well done, Kourtney and Travis. Yet discussing the Kardashians, fans are currently hauling Kourtney's family for their peculiar responses to Kourtney's enormous uncover. Out of Kourtney's kin, just Kim and Khloe responded to the pregnancy news via virtual entertainment, yet even their posts were giving absolute minimum. Kim reshared Kourtney's pregnancy uncover video on her accounts and composed "Well done, we're having a Kravis child" concerning Chloe. She did likewise and composed "Congrats. My sweetie's my child is having a child, I love you and child." So much anyway, fans felt Kim's message didn't appear to be veritable. And with respect to Chloe, she's known to compose entire sections on IG at whatever point one of the relatives shares huge news. So her post likewise appeared to be somewhat tepid, and sure, Kim and Chloe, in all probability, definitely had some awareness of Kourtney's pregnancy before she declared it, yet it actually appears to be unusual that these two show more energy while advancing one of their brands than discussing their sister's wonder pregnancy. Yet what stunned fans significantly more is that Kourtney's mother, Kris Jenner, disregarded the pregnancy news for right around 2 days. And meanwhile, she continued to share tales about Kylie beauty care products. At last, after fans continued to barrage Kris with remarks about Kourtney's pregnancy, she additionally did the absolute minimum and yet again shared Kourt's video on her accounts, adding a couple of red heart emoticons anyway. She didn't try to compose whatever fans are presently saying there's something truly amiss with Kris when she couldn't salute her own girl on her pregnancy, particularly when only months prior she composed a few passages for Chloe's bamboozling ex Tristan Thompson's birthday. One fan on Reddit said no caring words or kindly words, and 24 hours after every other person has remarked she could never have shoddy this, more assuming she attempted. And one more fan on Twitter said this entire circumstance with Kris and Kourtney is a lot further, and obviously Kris never thought often about Kourtney the manner in which she thought often about her different little girls, particularly Kim and Kelly. Kris could do without Kourtney. The fan said she cherishes her since that is her little girl. They had many years of terrible sentiments, awful cooperations. Kourtney puts Kris through it on camera, and Kris sides with everybody except Kourtney, other than cash arrangements, will constantly start things out with Kris. And this is the discussion that has been happening for some time now. And it arrived at a limit after Kourtney's new dramatization with Kim over Kim's Dolce & Gabbana coordinated effort, after Kourtney took motivation from DG's 90s file for her wedding to Travis. Kim chose to deliver a collab assortment with a dang only 4 months after the wedding, and Kourtney, as of late, made sense of during an episode of The Kardashians that the main pressing concern wasn't Kim duplicating her thoughts, yet Kim and Kris thoroughly disregarding her and declining to recognize her sentiments. It's about correspondence. Mother never referenced it to me, I imagine. That is the reason it makes me feel horrible. It was my real wedding the year your sister got hitched. You then, at that point, made an arrangement to do this style show Don't Do It that very year that comes out 4 months after the fact. Dislike I did their mission. And afterward, she did the mission just after. Who minds that is business? It's my real wedding. And that wasn't an agreement for me. In a similar episode, Kim, Kris, and Chloe were seen toasting Kim's dang collab. And Kim offered a scornful remark about Kourtney being a diva, while Kris rushed to join Kim in taunting Kourtney. To Kourtney inside joke to the D over all divas. After this episode, broadcasted fans shot Kris for being a self-centered mother who just thinks often about her prodigies, while disregarding the others. One fan composed Kris as a mother. It was exceptionally off-base of you to ridicule Kourtney's sentiments just to cheer Kim up on the grounds that Kim is your number one gives you no great explanation to be a mean young lady to your kid. And another fan said Kim, Chloe, and Kris toasting to Kourtney at the Deke supper was so cowardly. And now that Kris lacked the ability to be tried to openly praise Kourtney on her pregnancy, fans are saying this is positive verification that Kris is an egotistical parent. And she hates Kourtney in light of the fact that Kourtney is the one in particular who won't be controlled. As a matter of fact, many fans are hypothesizing that Kris is frantic in light of the fact that Kourtney didn't permit her to uncover her pregnancy on the unscripted TV drama and did it according to her own preferences. Rather, how unimportant and pitiable Kris is to not compliment her own little girl. One fan said this kid is her grandkid. and she is dismissing her before it's even conceived what a vile individual Kris is. She's just keen on cash and what she can receive in return. Disgrace on you, Kris. And someone else composed Court isn't allowing her relationship to be the storyline and hold the show the manner in which she and Scott held the last show. She is assuming command over her life, which she merits, yet we should hear your considerations on this. What do you believe is the genuine explanation? Kris didn't freely salute Kourtney on her pregnancy. Let us in on in the remarks. And don't pass up this next video.